right. So there was some issue with the, okay, so I think it is fine now. Okay, so no need of nutrition is the topic for today. Okay, so let's see this. So dear learners, I am Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I am an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup called VK Greens, where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. Just a second, let me just check again. There is some network problem. I feel I'm facing certain network issue. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay, fine. All right, so we will continue with this. So you can join with us in Telegram. So for homework and class notes, you can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10, the Telegram channel. So Unacademy, ICSE and ISC both. So this particular link you will find in the description box. Okay, so you can join this channel. So this is the in description box of this particular video, so you can find this link. Okay, so click on the link and join the channels for updates regarding the classes. And also there is free special classes that we will be conducting on Unacademy platform. Okay, so their live real-time interaction using the chat and emojis. So the educator will go live. Okay, and so you have an option to ask your question. So there is a chat option and also there are emojis to react. So this is a real-time interaction that you can find in there. Along with that, you can type in your question and attach an image, and you can send it to the educator during a live class itself, and they are going to clear your doubt. Then live poll options for the quiz. Okay, so we will also be conducting quiz where you will get an option to choose between these particular options, so A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so in that case, so we can conduct a quiz there as well. So also we will be sharing the leaderboard to compete with your friends. Okay, so you can all you need to do is download the Unacademy Learners app, and you can select your category of studies like ICSE you can select, and then you can attend the free special classes. Okay, so free special classes, when we mention, it is mainly free, so you can take up those classes. Then there are plus classes also, that is in batches we will be conducting. Free classes is basically a random topic is chosen in case of free classes, like as in now we can perform this in YouTube also. So plus subscription is basically we will be doing the subjects, like subject wise, all the like chapters, the topics what you have, so that will be done in a regular manner, so you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Okay, so unlimited access to all the courses. Then top educators of India are going to take the class in one platform. Okay, so that is Unacademy platform. Regular doubt clearing session will be there, so after about every 3 sessions. Okay, so this one session, that is the 4th session, what is there, so this is a doubt clearing session. Okay, so in this doubt clearing session, so whatever doubts you have related to the topics that are covered in the previous 3 sessions, so you can clear your doubts. So then complete coverage of a syllabus will be done, and mentorship and guidance is given. Study material, so that particular which will be available in PDF format itself. The practice test is given, live test series, batch courses. So you will have access to all of this if you are going for a plus subscription. And if you are planning to go for a plus subscription, so you can use my referral code VANIYT. Okay, that is to get 10% off on the subscription. Okay, and so there is a daily practice session, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series. So all these also will be there, so you can take a complete benefit of this one with the plus subscription, where the lessons are done in a regular manner. Okay, so now this is for class 9, so you can try with 6 months of subscription. Okay, So like if you just want to try like how this works, so you can go for this one. And also if you want, if you are planning to complete the 10th also, then maybe you can go for 12 months. Okay, then if you are planning for further like higher studies, so class 11 and 12 also now itself, then you can go for these many months of subscription. Okay, so here again, so when you are going for subscription, so you can use this referral code, that is Vani YT, to get 10% off on the subscription. Okay, so this is for class 9 learners. So you know, for class 10 learners, so there is 3-month one available, and this is for class 9 learners. So you can try any of these months based on your convenience. So let's say you are going for 12 months or more. Okay, so you are going to buy a subscription of 12 months and more, so you will be getting extra 2 months extension. Okay, so 12 months if you are buying, so basically you are getting 14 months. So this is an offer for plus subscribers, that is in ICSE category, and also you are getting 10% discount with this specific code, that is Vani YT. Okay, so with this specific code, so you will get 10% off. All right, so this is valid for the first 500 subscribers. So if you have any queries regarding the subscription, or maybe about the preparation journey, or want to know about the latest offers, so you can just get in touch with this one. Okay, so this is the number where you can call. So this is, you can use the code again, Vani YT, so for any of the subscription features or anything related that. Okay, or to unlock also. So you know, there are many free products that are available on Unacademy, so you can use this referral codes to unlock the free products also. And if you are going for a free subscription, so you can get 10% off also with the same code. Okay, so 1 second. All right, so this is for 5 kingdom classification. 1 second. Yes, I am audible, right? All right. Okay, so let's have a look. So introduction part of this one now. So you know, 5 kingdom classification. So why exactly an idea of a 5 kingdom classification came in the very beginning? So it is basically for, you know, when we discover newer organisms. Okay, so we discover, so let's say now there are a group of students who will grow up, so they have an interest in certain animals and plants. So let's say they discover something new, something completely different. So you can search for it, whether this is completely new, like new type of a plant, or you know, so if it is already discovered, like then like what are the details. So you want to know the details of each and every organisms. So this is going to help us in the scientific study. Okay, so now when we mention about the introduction for this one, it is basically for the classification. Okay, so you know, the division and arrangement of the organisms into categories based on the similarities, and you know, the dissimilarities are also considered, but categorization is done for those who are having a similar characteristics. Okay, so Aristotle attempted dividing plants into trees, shrubs and herbs, and animals based on the presence of red blood. So you know, some organisms are having a red blood and some organisms are having a white blood. Okay, so based on that, the classification was done in case of animals, that is by Aristotle. And you know, he divided the plants into trees, shrubs and herbs also. So this helps in studying the evolutionary relationship between the different group of organisms, so we can understand so how exactly the evolution has occurred here. Okay, so that is basically, so you know, earlier it was a very tiny plant, then it started dividing further. So when the division started further, what happens, so there are more number of organisms. So that is how it led to the discovery related to you know, so different differences between the organisms can be understood. Okay, so now if we are taking an example of a monkey to man. Okay, so same way, like you know, now the tail is gone and we do not walk with our all the 4 limbs, so we are walking with the 2 limbs. So there might be further evolution that might be coming. Okay, so anyway, so this is basically evolution takes place over the period of time also, like over the period of years also we can mention. So in certain cases, like you know, we are talking about the coronavirus. So it is mutating at a faster rate, right? So there are organisms which can mutate at a faster rate as well. So here biodiversity and need for classification. So why do we exactly need this classification system? So this is basically, there are many different types of organisms on the earth, okay? So that we call as a biological diversity. So now there are a diverse number of life forms on earth. So evolution is adding a newer organism. So you have, like, you know, in this pandemic era, so you only might have experienced that. So first there was the alpha type of coronavirus, then there is gamma, then beta, so then omicron, all these different delta virus. Okay, so all these are the different types of viruses of the same, so coronavirus itself, but mutation is occurring and we are naming them. Okay, so that is basically evolution goes on adding a newer organisms in the biodiversity list, and that is how we get newer organisms. So all organisms are connected through some shared common genes. So all the different types of organisms, so we are all coming from a particular gene itself. Okay, so there might be, so there has to be a some evolutionary relationship that is occurring between the genes, between the organisms, because of the genes. So they have some shared common genes will be there between the organisms. Okay, so here diversity and need for classification, when we mention, so definition of classification, the grouping of organisms into categories and subcategories that is based on similarities and differences. So this is called as a classification. Okay, so what is classification here? Based on the similarities and dissimilarities, so we are categorizing these animals. Okay, so that is what is actually the classification. So classification is gonna fulfill the following needs. So what are what are the needs here? So basically, we can understand these organisms clearly, right? Like now you discover a plant, okay, or maybe an animal. So let's say that you discover a particular mammal. Okay, so let's say a bat. So this bat, when you discover for the first time, so you have to study its feature. So whether it is giving rise to a young one, whether it is having a characteristic feature where it is having a mammary gland. Okay, so all these needs to be considered. So different characters, whether it is having a hair on the body, okay, then whether it is able to walk or fly, so all these have to be considered, and based on most suitable characteristics which are similar in the other group, so in that group we are going to place them. So classification fulfills the following needs, that is a better study of an organism can be done. So discovering new organisms is done, understanding ecology and adaptation. Okay, so that is basically the relationship of these organisms with the surrounding and how exactly they are adapting to this surrounding. So that is actually understood by this one. Then understanding relationship among the organisms is also done. So what is the relationship among these organisms? So there are different organisms what are there, and so some are getting benefited by each other and some do not. So in that case, so relationship among these organisms needs to be understood. Okay, then okay, so taxonomic hierarchy. So classification is done step by step. Okay, so each step is going to involve a category called as a taxonomic category. So you know that the domain, kingdom, phylum, class. Okay, so all that we study. So those are all the categories or the taxonomic categories what we call. So each step will involve a category called as a taxonomic category. Okay, so this is done step by step itself. So order of taxonomic category what is there? So that is called as a taxonomical hierarchy. Okay, so order, like in which it is arranged. So this is the order now. So topmost is the domain and comes the kingdom, then below you will find phyla or the division. Okay, so that is the arrangement which is done. So that is actually hierarchy of a particular taxonomy. So taxonomic category will include a taxon for each of these organisms. So taxonomic hierarchy when we mention, so this is mainly for plants and animals, so which they will differ a little. Okay, so hierarchy is basically for plant it is different and for animals. So in case of phyla, okay, so that is after the kingdom phylum comes. Okay, so after the kingdom, so we say phylum in case of animals, but in case of plants we don't say it as a phylum, we say it as a division. Okay, so certain little differences are there with respect to hierarchy in a taxonomy of plants and animals. Then there are some similarities in traits of members of a category. So there is a total of 7 categories in the hierarchy. Okay, so what are these 7? These are 7 obligate categories. That means compulsory categories these are. Okay, so one needs to place. So whenever, let's say you discover a new organism, so you need to compulsorily place this organism, so you need to study it completely so that you know. So let's say a new organism you find out. Okay, so now when you find out a new organisms, so you need to know whether it is belonging to which kingdom. Okay, so that means whether this new organism is bacteria, that is whether it is Monera, whether it is protista, whether it is fungi, whether it is plant, or whether it is animal. Okay, so all this you need to study. Okay, then let's say you discover that based on certain features, so you will think that it is an animal. So now you have placed it in a kingdom animal. Okay, that is according to this new organism. So you are placing is basically it's study once you do the experimentation or the characteristic study what you do. So after that, so you'll make sure that the list of the organism name what is there, so that has to be placed in the new category of animal kingdom. So then other than that, so you will place them under the phyla. So what phyla you are going to place them, what order you will be placing them, so all the different characteristics need to be studied here. So the most fundamental category, the species, will show the maximum similarities between the organisms. So species will have more number of similarities. Just a second. Okay, so now here in this case, so plants when we mention, so it is the division you can see here. In case of animals we call it as the phylum. Okay, so same way class, order, family, genus and species. So here class, order, family, genus and species. So you know number of organisms and similarity if we are talking about, so this is with respect to number of organisms which are there. Okay, so number of organisms and you know the similar characteristics. Okay, so number of similarity we can mention or a similar characteristics. Okay, so that we need to study here. So as we go down, so let's say I'll just take this color itself, so maybe okay. So now let's say as we go down, that is from kingdom to the plant. Okay, that is kingdom to the species. Okay, so we are going in this direction. Okay, so as we go down in this direction, you can see that the number of organisms are going to decrease. Okay, because they are getting specific you know, so specific characteristics we are getting here. So in animal kingdom, okay, so if we are talking about a plant kingdom and animal kingdom, all the different types of plants will come. Okay, but if we are talking about the division what is happening, so there it is getting reduced, or the class. So angiosperm, gymnosperm, then there is pteridophyte, bryophyte. So there is a reduction in number of organisms as they are getting segregated here. So division is there. Then here also it's the same thing. So number of organisms are going to decrease from the upper part, that is kingdom, to the species level. Okay, now if we are talking about the similarities, so similarity what is going to happen, so from kingdom to the species, the similarity is going to increase or decrease. It is gonna yes, anybody? As you can see that the most fundamental category, a species show maximum similarity. Okay, so they will have more of a similarity between the species. Okay, so between the species there will be more of a similarity, and again between the genus a more of a similarity will be there. So as we go down, so this is gonna decrease again. Okay, so moving on to this is what is species. So species means an organism of a particular kind. Okay, so which can interbreed among themselves to produce a fertile one. So when the male gamete, okay, so when the male gamete and then the female gamete fuse, okay, so when they both fuse, what is going to happen? So there is actually a product zygote which is formed here, and this zygote will give rise to a species, a new species formed. So now in that case, so whether the species, so now we will take this one, and whether it is, if it is able to interbreed them among themselves, then in that case it is basically a belonging to a same type of category, that is species itself. So all individuals of species can normally breed among themselves. Okay, so individuals of a particular species, so that will be differing from all the living beings. So cats of the world belong to one species. Okay, so all house cats, what are there? So they belong to one species itself. So they may have some different differences among themselves, that is color difference might be there. Okay, so height difference might be there, length of a tail difference might be there. Okay, but they all can interbreed. So all the different cats, what are they? So they all can interbreed among themselves. So the house cat is one species, that is Felis domesticatus. Okay, so this Felis, what is it? So this Felis domesticus, so this is basically a house cat itself which can interbreed among itself. Okay, so now similarly there may be a few differences in the body feature of a people of different countries or races, yet there can be a marriage between them with the normal children. Okay, so all mankind today belongs to a single species itself, that is Homo sapiens. Similarly, all people trees and mango trees belonging to their respective species. Okay, so horse then donkey are the two different species now. So horse is completely different, donkey is completely different. So horse and horse can mate. Okay, then the donkey and donkey can mate. But what happens if a horse and a donkey is mating? Because they are not of the same species, so they are actually in so they are of different species. So these are different species and have numerous breeds. So all breeds of a horse and those of a monkey can interbreed among themselves, that is to produce, one second, yeah, here it is. Okay, so that is to produce a fertile young ones, but a cross between a horse and a donkey. So here in this case, and those of a donkey can also, so between donkey and donkey the interbreeding can occur, but when the donkey and the horse are breeding, so does not produce a fertile mule. Okay, so this is with respect to the laboratory condition might be, or so let's say here you can see young one, cross between a horse and a donkey, so though possible. Okay, so this is possible, but it is not going to produce a fertile mule. So humans been practicing producing mules for centuries, but several new type of crosses have been successfully tried in modern times. Okay, so this is the picture which is given in your textbook. So living organism but not a species. So they have given a donkey here and a horse is given. So it is equus asinus and it is equus hippo. Okay, so this is horse, and the male donkey is taken and the female horse is taken, and they have grown a mule. Okay, so this mule is neither a horse nor a donkey. Okay, so it is a combination of this and this, so that is why, so it is neither a horse nor a donkey. So mule is a cross between a donkey and a mare. One second. Okay, so here in this case, so it resembles the male parent, that is donkey, in the size. Okay, so now this mule, what is that? So in size it is going to resemble its the male parent, that is donkey. So and with respect to shape of ears also it is the same thing. Okay, now shape of ears, the legs and hooves, the shape of the tail and the shortness of mane, and it is similar to the female parent. It is basically going to be in height. Okay, so you can see a height and also with respect to the shoulder. So mule is again sterile. So why it is a sterile? So this is basically a cross is done between this and this. Okay, so in that case it is a sterile one and it cannot reproduce. Okay, so a cross between horse and a jenny, that is female donkey, produces a hinny. Okay, so that is a horse and then a jenny, so it will be a hinny, so which is also incapable, so which also is incapable of breeding. So this also hinny is basically a reverse. Okay, so what they have done here, a male horse is taken and a female donkey is taken, so they have created an individual, so that is a hinny. So some other examples that they have given here. So some other examples of crosses between the two different species. So zebra mated with donkey produces a zinky. Okay, so you can see here the zebra was there, okay, and then the donkey. So when they mate, okay, so zinky is produced, as you can see here. So this is not even a donkey, so this is not even a zebra now. So this is zinky actually. So with ears and back like those of donkey and striped legs, okay, and hips like the zebra. So zinky is sterile. So this one is actually sterile one. It is not a fertile one. Okay, so it is actually a sterile one. So here also this also cannot give rise to a new individual. So tiger mating with the female lion produces a tigon. Okay, so this is basically a male one and then there is a female lion. So tigon is produced, that is again a sterile one. Okay, so this is again a sterile one. Geep when we mention, so it is basically again a product of a goat and then a sheep. Okay, so when we combine this goat and a sheep together, okay, so that is again done under the laboratory condition itself, which can be done. So we can take the sperm from this particular goat and ovum from a sheep, or the vice versa. So since it is not mentioned here, okay, so this is also going to be, that is the product which is formed again in the laboratory conditions. So this can be a geep here. One second, where is the, okay, here. Okay, so now when we mention about the pomato, so pomato is a combination which is going to produce underground. Okay, so potatoes are going to be produced underground itself and tomatoes above the ground. So tomatoes have been grown above the ground, but here in this case it is a pomato. That means the potato underground and tomatoes above ground, but it is producing no seed. So what exactly is the meaning of this one? So let's say there is a plant over there. Okay, so there is a plant, all right, as you all know that. So this plant is of tomato as well as a potato, because this is a pomato plant. Okay, so this one is pomato plant. That means is a combination. So here in the underground, okay, so this is inside the soil, what is happening. So this is with respect to the inside of a soil. Okay, so now what we can see, so we can see potatoes underground over here. Okay, so we can find the potatoes over here, and rest of them, that is the tomato. So here we can see a tomato growth. Okay, so there can be tomato growth which we can find in there. So that is a pomato. So same plant is going to give rise to a tomato also a potato. So such crossing or interbreeding can occur only between the two very closely related species. So only if they are closely related, then in that case what is going to happen? So they can interbreed among themselves, and the offspring are invariably sterile. So here this is with respect to crossing now, or interbreeding between the very closely related species, and the offspring are basically, so they can be sterile. Okay, one second, let me just drink water. So now here taxonomic hierarchy when we mention, okay, so species you know now, so organisms in this category, so they will resemble each other, so that is very closely, okay, so there is a very close relationship between the species, okay, that means they have a similar characteristics within themselves. Okay. Now with respect to the same thing here, so related species show morphological differences. So now related species when we mention, so they have a slighter morphological is basically external appearance, okay, so external appearance is basically a morphology, so that difference will be there, or an external study, what is it? So in that case, so externally they will be different, okay, to some extent, but they are again closely related with respect to their characteristics. So now when we mention about the genus, okay, so this is next up in the hierarchical category. So you can see that this is coming in this way, okay, so this is shown reverse. So first comes the kingdom, okay, so first comes the kingdom, so before that domain is there, for you anyway it is not mentioned. So then comes the phylum, okay, so then comes the class, and then comes the order, okay, then there is family, all right, so then there is genus, all right, and then there is species. So this is actually the right term. So hierarchy of a biological classification, so it is going to run from here this direction, okay. So now the next to the genus is, so this is an aggregation of closely related species. So all the species which were closely related here, so that was placed under the genus category, okay. So now this category has a group of genera. So now this is one category, there is another one category as such, so there is one more. So all these genus categories, what are there? So these need to be kept in the family. So this category has a group of genera with a lesser similarity, so reproduction features are also taken into account here. Then next we have order. So order is a grouping of family showing some similarities, okay. So now you know, so when we mention about the order, so grouping of families itself, now this is gonna form one family, okay, so like combining all of them together, so we can have many of such families again, okay. So family is basically reproductive features are again considered here, but they are having a similarities, that is, so this is with respect to lesser similarity as compared to the species or a genus. So next is order. So order is a grouping of families showing some similarities, okay, so they will be showing certain similarities. So this assemble relies on aggregates of the characters, okay. So that was with respect to the order. So grouping of families, now all these family groups, what are they? So all these families are kept in the order, okay. Now again group of order, so like this many groups of orders will be there, so all those will be kept in the class. Now again same way, so this class, what is there? So many different classes what are there in a phylum, so all of them can be placed under the phylum itself, okay. Then all the phylums will come under a kingdom here. So taxonomic hierarchy when we mention again, so this one, class orders with some similarities and more differences fall in this category, okay. So there is a phylum or a division, so classes of animals with similar basic features so belong together in the phylum. So for plants the name is actually a division, okay. So now here in this case animals with similar basic features, so same with respect to the kingdom also, so this can be called the highest category, you know. Now when we mention about these organisms, so kingdom will have more number. Okay, so more number of organisms can be there. Okay, more number of organisms it is. Then when we come to the phyla, so number of organisms will reduce to some extent, because there are many phyla here in the kingdom. Okay, so this is one phyla, this is one phyla, this is one phyla. So you know what will happen? So number of organisms will divide. Okay, so they will divide between the organisms, so they'll be divided between the different organisms. So same way order also comes. So now under this phylum, so there can be many orders as such. Okay, so there can be many orders as such. Again under this particular order, so there can be many families as such. Okay, so this is again a family which might be present. So all this is going to be considered in mind. Okay, so by considering all these in mind itself, so whenever a new organism is discovered, so we need to make sure that we study each and every characteristic of this organism, so that we can place these organisms in a respective category, so that this is going to help the general public in understanding a particular new organism. Okay, so geep is a product of gorilla and sheep, whether it is true or false. Okay, so anyway, here I don't see a chat again. So this one is basically a false itself. Okay, so it is actually a goat and the sheep. So this one has to be goat. Okay, so this is goat and a sheep. Okay, so next is mule is a cross between male donkey, female horse, female donkey, a male horse, monkey and donkey, horse and monkey. So this one is basically male donkey and a female horse. Okay, so group of genera. Okay, so this is for a group of genera with similar certain characteristics, or with certain similar characteristics, so they will form the genus, family, species and the kingdom. So it is obviously the family. So as you can know that the dumb king Philip came over from Greater Spain, if we mention. So this is domain. So domain anywhere it is not mentioned for you. Then there is kingdom. Okay, so then there is phylum. All right, so after the phylum there is class. All right, then there is order. Okay, so then there is family, genus. Okay, and then this one is a species. All right, so out of all this, what is going to happen now? So you can see that a group of genera, so like this, a many group of genera, what are they? So all those will be placed under a family itself. Okay, all right, so this is Unacademy prodigy. Okay, so tomorrow, okay, so you are having this on so today is actually Friday, right? So Sunday you are having this. Okay, so on Sunday, that is 13th of Feb at 12 p.m. Okay, so you can take up this test. So basically win scholarship and prizes while testing your knowledge in mental ability. Okay, so you can enroll now for free. So it will ask you unlock code to unlock this one. So you can use my code Vani to unlock this. Okay, so unlock code can be used and you can enroll for this one. So this is on Feb 13th, so that is at 12 p.m. so you can take a complete benefit, where there is a chance where you can win. You know, the rank 1 is gonna win the MacBook Air, rank 2 and 3 will win iPhone, then rank 4 and 5, so they'll win iPad. So rank 6 to 40, so they will win Amazon Echo Dot. Then rank 41 to 100, so they'll win Amazon vouchers. Okay, so this is for scholarship slab. So rank 1 to 10, so this is with respect to 1 and 10. So 100%. Rank 11 to 25, so it is 75%. Rank 26 to 100, it is 50%. Rank 101 to 200, it is 25%. Then rank 201 to 15%. So all these are basically the slabs in which you are going to get the scholarship. So if you are securing this particular rank, then you are going to get this. Okay, so other than that, you know, the test is being conducted on Feb of 13. So if you are in class 7 to 8 or 9 to 10, so it is at 12 noon. Okay, so if you are in class 11, then it is at 10 a.m. one is, and at 2 p.m. also there is one session. Then class 12, okay, so for class 12 this is, and they have at 10 a.m. as well as 2 p.m. okay. So this is on 13th of Feb, okay. So this you can take up. I think here I had written, what is the time, 12 p.m. only I have written, yes, that's right, okay. So these are ongoing batches, okay. So there is already a recording which is available for the ones which are done, okay. And there are some classes to be done, so you will have access to these batches if you are taking a plus subscription. So if you are planning on taking a subscription, so you can use my referral code VANIYT, okay. And so these what is it, I mean these batches, what are they? So these are going to help you completely prepare for your exam. So basically Udan batch is there, so mode of delivery is Hindi here. The champions batch, the mode of delivery is English in here, okay. So one shot revision we are conducting for class 9, 10, 11 and 12. So this has already started, and also we are conducting a poll war, okay. So poll war and one shot revision is important now as you are preparing for your board exam, okay. So I'll be giving the solve and practice important questions, so I'll be giving it in the form of a poll, so that I'll be conducting a quiz, okay. So you can download the Unacademy learners app, and you can click on the this thing, that is the link which will be available from the profile of ICSE category. So you can take up those sessions as well, okay. So how exactly do you watch these special classes? Just a second. Okay, so all you need to do is download the Unacademy learners app, okay. Then start learning on Unacademy. So that is basically open the app and click on get started. So this one you will get. Then you can enter your mobile number and a OTP. So you have to enter your mobile number and a OTP has to be entered there. Then you can create your account. So basically all you need to do is you need to sign up using your email ID. Then you can choose the class 6 to 12 here, because there is one more category for competitive exam. So you can choose this category, okay. And so there is for if you are preparing for this also, so you can anyway take up this as well, okay. So then you can choose your category, that is ICSE, okay. So language of your preference, so whether you want to learn in English, Hindi or English, so you can go for that as well. So other than that, so you can use my code, that is to unlock the free products that are there on the Unacademy. So you can also get in touch with the counselor. So confused about your preparation journey, or you are having a queries about the subscription, or want to know about the latest offers, so you can call this number. And if you are going for a subscription, so you can use my referral code VANIYT, okay. So VANIYT is my referral code where you will get 10% discount. So download the Unacademy app now. 1 second. So download the Unacademy app now and try all of these features for free. So the benefit of plus subscription. You can also take the benefit from a special classes. So basically these are free in nature. So these special classes are also going to help you crack your final, as we are conducting the poll war and one shot revisions we are conducting. So all you need to do is attend these sessions, so that it will be useful for you all, okay. And this is my referral code, okay. So you can also subscribe us on YouTube now. So all you need to do is click on subscribe button and you are done, okay. And you need to download the Unacademy learners app as well, okay. So download and select your ICSE category and start watching the free sessions on Unacademy, okay. So see you all in the next session then. Bye bye everyone, take care, thank you so much. So any queries that you have? I think there is nothing. Let me just check. All right. Okay then. So see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone. Thank you so much.